Yo, what is up, everybody? It's me, that'll be here back with part 5 for What If Goku Had Kurama, the nine-tailed fox from Naruto. So, last time we got through some Dragon Ball stuff as well as getting closer to Dragon Ball Z. I know it's taking 4 parts because I break down everything slowly and go through the story at a narrative pace. If that's not for you, then I'm sorry, I'm not Moscow X. This is how I do all of my what ifs. But yeah, we're going to be getting into this part now today since I haven't posted it in a month and I figured I might as well update it. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and make sure to go back up here at the top of the right hand corner and you'll find a playlist that has all of the previous parts, the previous 4 parts, so you can catch up and get back to where we are now. Anyway, with that, let's just get into this part for What If Goku Had Kurama. So last time Goku barely lost the 21st Martial Arts World Tournament, that being the Tenkaichi Budokai, as well as left on his journey, due to Master Roshi pretty much doing what he did in the original and instructing Goku and Kurama to go out on the road since he wanted Goku to see the world. Sticking with this same little bit faster paced style so we can get through Dragon Ball without taking 20 parts, I will be moving through some things in a few sentences, similar to Masako and Karthu. Anyway, Goku and Kurama are on the road now, and Goku would now come to realize, thanks to Kurama and his counseling, that the reason he lost to that Jackie Chun guy was because of his horrible misuse of his chi. His energy control is severely lacking. And so this would be one thing that Goku would be willing and wanting to train on his journey. Before we skip ahead to the Red Ribbon arc, I will say that Goku is going to learn a new technique here. You guys remember that filler arc in Dragon Ball where it's him learning that star attack from like the ninja people who are fighting each other? Yeah, me neither, but basically that filler we're going to have, instead of him learning that weird star taijutsu attack, he would actually learn something about chakra. You see, the ninja in this timeline of Dragon Ball, in this filler arc, would actually be able to use chakra instead of ki, and they would have a ki jutsu, this being the shadow clone jutsu that they created. Goku, through watching them using it, would actually master the technique just like he had with the star-shaped attack from the original Dragon Ball, now unlocking the ability to use shadow clones. His shadow clones would be slightly different though. Since Goku has Chi, a combined energy source of Ki and Chakra, his Shadow Clones would be far more powerful than the average Shadow Clone, which generally you're dividing your Chakra into. Since he has Ki put into it instead, it doesn't have the weakness that the multi-form technique in Dragon Ball does. For those who don't know what that is, basically Tien has this technique where he can create clones of himself by slicing his power in half. Shadow clones have this weakness to a lesser degree because you can actually control how much power you put into each shadow clone. Something that's not quite touched upon in the Dragon Ball verse versus Naruto is in Naruto can control the output of how much energy he puts into a clone. Comparatively, the clones he makes, 1,000 clones he makes at the start of the series versus War Arc Naruto clones are much different in strength. That's because by now he can control the output of how much energy he's putting in. So you might be wondering what I'm getting at by this. Basically, Goku could create a shadow clone and put 1% of his power in. And you might be wondering why he would do that, but think about the strategic use of this in a martial arts fight. Unlike Tien, who'd be having his power no matter what he does every time he splits, Goku could create 1,000 clones, all of like 1% of his power, or tiny fractions of his energy, and then use them as distractions. Think of it like a more advanced version of the afterimage technique. Anyway, Goku would take this technique, much like he takes everything else from Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, no hate, and would then move on, eventually trying to figure out what his journey would be, that being him looking for the 4-star Dragon Ball, his grandfather's Dragon Ball, similar to how he had come up with the original while honing his chi. Goku would be using shadow clones to train this actually, controlling how much energy he puts into a shadow clone. The same incident would occur with Inoshikacho, that being the giant boar that Tien and Chaozu would have been hired to take care of, Goku running into them and almost getting killed, quote unquote, as they would come into an infraction. Not actually fighting quite yet, like they would later in the next couple years of the next Tenkaichi Budokai, but Goku would see the skill of these two hired mercenaries. Anyway, Inoshikacho would be taken down. Goku, now with his shadow clones and out of filler territory, would come up with an idea on how to find the Dragon Ball, deciding to go back to Bulma and try and find her. Maybe she would still be able to give him the Dragon Ball radar, and then he'd be able to go and find the 4-star ball. At least that was Goku's thought process. Goku would then try and find West City. Through a lot of luck, effort, and wandering around, he would eventually make it just like in the original, where he would have multiple shenanigans going on, asking people where Bulma's house is in this huge city, most people being confused, and eventually finding that same fighter on the street promising prize money if you can knock him out. Goku would enter into this just like he did in the original accidentally, with Kurama watching amused, as Goku would throw a single punch knocking the fighter out of the ring. That was easy, Goku would be thinking. Do you know where Bulma's house is? No response. He would be knocked unconscious. Goku would be given the prize money to everyone's shock, and would eventually run into that one young lady who would tell him to go to a police officer to look for someone's house. Goku would thank her by handing her about 100,000 zeni, and then leave, with her being dumbfounded why this child just handed her so much cash. Anyway, Goku would eventually meet up with a police officer, like in canon, and say that he doesn't have any money left, with the officer being offended that he'd try and bribe him. When Goku says if he knows where Bulma's house is, he would eventually use the same search scanner thing looking for a Bulma, and running into the image of both Bulmas, that being Bulma briefs. He would not be expecting that this little kid would know someone as rich and famous as the briefs, but he would take them there anyway. Concerned of what was going to happen though, he would wait with the child. Eventually Bulma comes home from school, Goku and Bulma go to her room, and Bulma talks to Goku about why he's there, Goku eventually getting the Dragon Ball radar and hearing all about Yamcha and everything that's happened while he's been away. The story continues pretty much as normal for the rest of everything, with Goku just going to try and find his Dragon Ball, accidentally running into and defeating multiple Red Ribbon Army generals along the way, eventually making it to the point where he'd run into General Blue. The General Blue saga would go pretty much according to how it did in the original, with them going to the underwater pirate cave, Bulma and Krillin coming with, and Goku saving the day. One different scene that happens though is when Krillin's about to die to General Blue's hand, Goku flying out of the water and saving Krillin. In this version the same thing would happen, and as Goku turns around, his eyes would meet General Blue. General Blue has the ability to use his eyes to telekinetically freeze someone. When he'd try to do this to Goku, he would see a massive creature, a monster he'd say, as Goku's eyes would be red with slit-like pupils. Goku now barely accessing the one-tailed form, telling Kurama to calm down. General Blue would freak out, eventually getting taken out by Son Goku and his friends. Bulma now realizing how dangerous everything was. This is when Goku's past crossing with Krillin and Bulma would come to an end. Now Goku going after the final Dragon Ball, this leading to where we eventually would run into Mercenary Tau. Goku would follow the Dragon Ball radar, eventually making it to Korin Tower. Now, for anyone who's watched the original Dragon Ball series, you know what's gonna happen. We see some Red Ribbon soldiers searching for the Dragon Ball that's currently in a volcano inside the sacred land of Korin, this being the location of Korin Tower. Anyway, the volcano would explode and sends the Dragon Ball, which is coincidentally the 4-star ball, the one that Goku and Kurama are searching for, into the camp of this land's protectors, that being Upa and his father Bora, the two Native American lookalikes who were in Korin Tower's vicinity. Anyway, the Red Ribbon Army would use their trackers to eventually find the ball's signature, making it to the camp and demanding that they hand it over. Upa's father would easily eliminate them all using his spear, and the last remaining soldiers, that being Captain Yellow, would radio back to headquarters. Commander Red, the leader of the Red Ribbon Army, would holler at him, telling him to get back here now and bring the Dragon Ball. In desperation, Commander Yellow would grab Upa as ransom for the ball. but he isn't counting on Goku showing up. Goku by this point is already becoming a thorn in the Red Ribbon Army's side. Goku and Kurama easily destroying him, just using a quick Bijou Dama, and rescues Upa. As a gift of thanks, Goku would then be given the 4-star ball, which is his grandpa, Gohan's Dragon Ball. And now Goku has acquired the point of his entire mission, which was to get the 4-star Dragon Ball. However, while this is going on, General Blue, the guy who Goku, Bulma, and Krillin fought, is now returning back to the Red Ribbon Army headquarters, while Commander Red is in the process of hiring Mercenary Tau. When General Blue would enter the room, Commander Red would be furious, seeing that he doesn't have a Dragon Ball in his possession. Also, what happened to your clothes? He would be wondering. Anyway, General Blue would then be forced to fight Mercenary Tau to redeem himself, and also for Red to make sure that it's really the legendary Mercenary Tau, and not an imposter trying to steal his name. Anyway, the fight is quick. None of Blue's attacks have any effect, even his paralyzing technique with his eye, like his special eye ability. It just ends with Tau using his tongue, striking Blue in the temple of his skull, and killing him instantly. Satisfied with this result, Commander Red would then hire him to kill Son Goku and retrieve the Dragon Balls. Anyway, Mercenary Tau would be given a picture of Goku, who the Red Ribbon Army had snatched while Goku was destroying their headquarters around the world searching for the Dragon Balls. Mercenary Tau would cut out a piece of a column from the building, as Commander Red was about to lend him a plane so he could go and follow the Dragon Ball signal based on their radar. In typical Tau fashion, Mercenary Tau would say there is no need, as he throws the column and jumps on it, using it as a ride to the land of Korin, in utter style. Anyway, Mercenary Tau would finally arrive, actually quicker than you'd expect, Upa's father noticing him as he jumps in front of the way to protect Goku. But Bora would be killed by Mercenary Tau with his own spear. Angered by this, Goku would then challenge Mercenary Tau to a fight, saying that he shouldn't have killed Upa's father. Goku remembering the kindness that Upa and Bora had shown him after he had helped them fight off the Red Ribbon soldiers, even giving him something as precious as his grandfather's Dragon Ball. Goku would begin to grow the one-tailed cloak around him of chi. Mercenary Tau would be a bit more intrigued. Instead of the original, where Goku is getting mercilessly beaten by Mercenary Tau, Goku is actually able to do some damage. Using his Kamehameha Wave, which would be nothing besides destroying Tau's clothes, Mercenary Tau would be done with games, all of his taijutsu / physical attacks having not been very effective due to Goku's intense healing from Kurama's power. Anyway, he'd say, "I'm done with this," as Mercenary Tau would fight back using his Dodon Ray, infuriated after the Kamehameha Wave. Instead of Goku tanking the attack, the speed would be visible to him, using Kurama and his power. Goku would begin to enter into the two-tail state, as Kurama lends him more power. Ikuzo, Kurama! Goku would then begin to charge chi into his hand, spinning it faster and faster and condensing it, as Mercenary Tau would be able to see it. The Bijou Dama, formed from Goku and Kurama's chi combined. This miniature ball of energy would be easily able to deflect a Dodon Ray, which is, might I mention, stronger than what Goku's Kamehameha Wave from the original timeline is, since this Goku, in terms of ki, is far weaker than he was, just because he uses chi, which is weaker than ki but stronger than chakra, and so his Kamehameha would be far less effective, considering it's not a pure chi technique, using a mixture of chakra and ki. Anyway, Goku using the Bijou Dama, which is a combined of him and Kurama's energy, would be far more effective, as Goku runs forward using his speed. Mercenary Tau, having used the Dodon Ray, would be a bit out of energy, as Goku actually lands a hit. Goku landing the Bijou Dama would send Mercenary Tau flying back. Tau would tank the damage, but he'd feel blood seeping from his body. Too dangerous. Mercenary Tau is different than other fighters in Dragon Ball in that he's not afraid to run away and come back to live another day, using dirty tricks. He'd throw out a grenade, as he then grabs the pillar and flies, trying to escape back to the Red Ribbon Army. Goku would try to go after him before Upa grabs onto him, tears on his eyes. Goku would be shocked, turning back to see the tears of Upa, as Goku remembers Bora. Goku would fall out of the two-tailed cloak state as he turns back. Goku, seeing how sad Upa is, would remember the power of the Dragon Balls, as he then comes up with an idea. I'll use the Dragon Balls, Goku would think. Goku promising Upa to save his father. Much like the original, Upa would tell Goku of the legend of Korin Tower, saying that any strong enough to climb it would become massively stronger. Goku knows that aside from the Bijou Dama, none of his attacks could even scratch Tau. And at this point, Kurama refuses to give Goku any more chakra. Something I should mention for my non-Naruto viewers who are watching this for the sake of a Dragon Ball What If, I should let you know that Kurama's energy is poisonous to even Jinchuriki, which is why Naruto could take a lot of damage from and could actually hurt others, like he did to Sakura during Naruto Shippuden with the Ninetails power. And Goku's body is small, smaller than Naruto's was when he was entering the three-tailed state. And Kurama is friends with Goku. He doesn't want to hurt Goku or damage him, because the way Chi works in this is it's a balance between Goku's energy, which is Ki, his natural life force, and Kurama's natural life force, chakra. If Kurama overpowered Goku's Ki, he could die, which is why he can't give Goku much more power than this at this point. Until Goku can raise his amount of Ki, Kurama can't give him any more chakra, which is essentially how Kurama can also get stronger when Goku gets stronger. This two-way back and forth is what makes this What If actually work and not become irrelevant after the Namek Saga. Because Kurama gains power along with Goku, and vice versa, the two having to boost each other's strength for the other to work. Anyway, back to the actual timeline, Goku would begin to climb the tower, telling Upa that he will come back and gain the sacred water so that he can defeat Mercenary Tau. Goku already feeling the pain in his body from using the two-tailed state. For some reference, think of a way less damaging version of Kaioken, just leaving some rashes. His muscles were practically fine, since it wasn't like Kurama was trying to go and escape the seal, like destroying Goku's body. Anyway, Goku climbs the tower, and it takes days and nights. It is at this point that Mercenary Tau would decide to abduct Upa. Of course, Goku wouldn't know this, because Mercenary Tau would come back trying to sneak attack and kill Goku in the night, which would not work because he wasn't there. This is when Mercenary Tau begins his own ascent above the tower, leaving Upa at the ground. Basically meaning that Mercenary Tau and Goku will be eventually meeting at the top of Korin's tower. However, Mercenary Tau still has a ways to go. As Goku reaches the top of the tower, Goku would be gasping for air, having barely run out of stamina just as he lies flat on his back, his tongue out, gazing up at the open sky. This is when he would finally meet Korin, who turns out to be a short, fat, talking cat. Before Goku can explain the situation, Korin would say, "I can read your mind, don't worry about it," as Korin would use his magical cat powers and read Goku's thoughts. He'd begin to understand why Goku is after the water, and decides to give Goku the water on one condition, that Goku has to steal it from Korin. A second condition would be added that Goku can't rely on his big old fox's power, Kurama being a bit shocked that he knew he was there. Come on, me and Kurama are a team, that's not fair," Goku would say. "You rely on his power way too much. You'll never get stronger like that." This would remind Goku of what happened to him back during the World Tenkaichi Budokai, which had only happened a couple of weeks to months ago, when Jackie-chan defeated him due to Kurama not wanting to help him. "So what you're saying is, I had to do it by myself?" Kurama would remember what Master Roshi had said, and would agree with what Korin is saying, telling Goku to do his best. Goku having to rely on his own strength to get the sacred water. Goku would be going after the water of everything he's got, trying his best. And feeling defeated after failing so many times, Korin being too fast for him, Goku would be told that Master Roshi was the last one to get the water, over 300 years ago. Not only that, but it took Master Roshi 3 years to do it. The same one who had divided all of the Bijou after Kaguya had been sealed on Earth. Goku eventually falling asleep for the first day, not having any worries, unknowingly waiting for Mercenary Tau to climb the tower and face him. Goku would see Korin asleep, seeing the water. Goku would be reaching for it, but then would smile, deciding not to do it like that. As he falls asleep, Kurama would be proud of him. Anyway, Goku would wake up again as he tries his best to get the sacred water. He once again fails to retrieve the water, even after taking Korin's advice. However, towards the end of the day is when Mercenary Tau would arrive on the top of the tower, ready to fight Goku, mid-session as he sees Goku chasing this cat around with a bottle of water attached to a stick. If you guys want to see the next part for What If Goku had Kurama, make sure to hit the like button, comment down below what you thought, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this from me. Hopefully more after this week, considering finals are almost over, so I'll be able to focus more on the YouTube side of things. Anyway, this took way too long to come out. I'm hoping that I'll be able to post more soon. I have a lot of parts for What If Naruto was a Warlock, definitely set to come out soon. Those will be my next series I want to work on just because I enjoy making that one a lot. So be looking forward to that, and I have a few others that'll be coming out as well. Hopefully Rewind Deku and Sage of Six Packs of Naruto, the finale, and the movie for those. But yeah, we'll be getting back into the swing of things, as well as doing some art speed paints and things I'm trying to mess around with. I'll probably be posting those on my second channel though, so make sure to check that out. That's Weeb. I have it linked to my channels. I know self-promo and all that. Make sure to have a good one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.